Ah, looks like Rayquaza's finally coming down to say hi. Hey, what's up, dude? Oh, hey man, that's cool. Do you think I could get a ride? I need to start heading over to the next area, and I just need a ride. Okay, I'll take that as a yes. Anyways, guys, welcome to EX Power Keepers. So, everyone, after that little lore drop about me, I decided I need a little bit of a break, and it appears that this set, Power Keepers, is my little intermission between sets here. Power Keepers is one of our smaller sets. It features many reprints, so that makes it easy for us. The reverse holo pattern is similar to all the previous ones we talked about, so let me just put up a few cards really quickly. Anyways, this does call for a wardrobe update, so that's always fun. This will be the final wardrobe update, due to us entering a new era soon. Power Keepers is the 16th and final set in the EX era, releasing February 14th, 2007, features a grand total of 108 cards. This sounds like it will be a very exciting set to cover, right? Well, not that it isn't a good set, but almost a third of the set is comprised of Ken Sugimori artworks, so that's exciting, I suppose. This set also did away with the whole Delta species idea, so that's another unfortunate gamble. Either way, let's just talk about these reprinted trainer cards. The artists who reprinted trainer cards in this set are Shinichi Yoshikawa, Takumi Akabane, Milky Isobe, Nakaoka, Kenny Kuji, Keiji Kinabuchi, Zu Ka, Ryo Ueda, Midori Harada, Ken Sugimori. Pretty sure the only new trainers in the set are the Glacia Stadium, Phoebe Stadium, Sydney Stadium, and the Drake Stadium. These four cards were illustrated by Ryo Ueda and featured the different Elite Four members' stadiums with all different features, which is pretty cool, I suppose. There are also six holographic energies in this set, so that knocks us down six cards more. So this set really only has 81 cards. But let me just put the water hollow energy up in here, just because it's tradition at this point. Anyways, our first artist with the card is Kagemaru Himeno, who worked on the Pikachu, which is actually a really cute card. I like how it bounds about with the sun striking it from above, and the autumn-esque trees in the background are quite nice. Mitsuhiro Rita worked on the Torchic, which walks along and looks up to the left. The Chinchou illuminates the area around it with his mouth opening, and then Baltoy looks into the distance as the sun rises behind it. The Vibrava looks to the left as it sneakily climbs up a tree as well. Tomokazu Kamiya worked on a Slackoth, which lays down on the ground clapping its feet together, the Skitty, which holds onto some bamboo as it smiles, the Aeron, which lays down on some train tracks, and the Metang, which floats above some water as lightning strikes behind the Pokemon and extends its little claw. Sakishiko Adachi worked on the Trapinch, which comes up from a burrow and looks at the camera, the Charmander, which looks on the distance as a cave is behind it, the Lyron, which opens its mouth and stands on some kind of cliff face, with a lake in the background, and the Kirlia, which extends its arms outwards as a town or city sits behind the Pokemon. I actually really love Adachi's style, and I hope to see more cards from him soon because it reminds me of Yukamori's style, but the Pokemon are just a little bit more expressive. Atsuko Nishido worked on one card for the set, being the Combuskin, which covers its face with one of its hands as mist is all around the Pokemon. I like the colors, and green with the white shady mist in the background. Surprisingly enough, Tomoaki Imakuni worked on some more cards in this set, being the awesome Medicham, which poses up with the moon in the background, and some dead trees are nearby the Pokemon. But the Medicham casts a nice shadow, and I really like the dark colors in this one. And this even awesomer Ninetales card, which looks at the camera face on with all of its tails fanning out behind it, which I think looks pretty stunning. Hajime Kusajima is here to show up in this set, working on the Magnemite, which pushes up through some kind of techie area, sparks and lights blare in the background. The Laleep, which pokes its head into a cave and holds onto the wall as the sun rises in the background. The Cacnea, which punches forwards and smiles. The Vigoroth, which holds onto a branch and looks menacing, with dark shading. The Nuzleaf, which stances up similar to the lead to the Bagon for Delta from the last set. And the Raichu Hollow, which smiles and pushes its tail outwards. This is probably one of the nicest Hollow cards in the whole set, so be prepared. Alright, next in line is Midori Harada, working on a good bulk of the cards of this set, starting us off with the C-Dot, which looks forwards as another C-Dot falls on its own butt on the floor, the Ralts, which lays on a branch and rests its hand on its face, the Poochyena, which holds onto some kind of fabric as it goes along with a field in the background, the Meditite, which sits on a rock as a waterfall strikes the Pokemon and it stays with a stern face, the Beldum, which floats along with the cave entrance glowing in the background, the Bagon, which runs along about to enter the water, with its mouth opened up, the Shelgon, which takes up a lot of the card as it looks a little upset with little tiny peepers, with the sky in the back, the Sharpedo, which swims along underneath the depths, with some spiky rocks that form behind it, the Charmeleon, which swipes its claw towards the camera and extends out its tongue, very lizard-like, the Anorith, which boasts its chest and has wide claws hanging out, looking at the camera. The Seviper, which coils around as the sun sets in the sky, is a nice yellow, with the Pokemon opening its mouth and its tongue hanging out of its mouth. The Mightyena, which walks along the world, with its teeth bared and fangs ready, makes the Pokemon look intimidating and very cool. The Lantern, which floats freely through the seas and with its mouth wide open. The Slacking Hollow, which looks into the distance with a stern look on its face. And finally, the Gardevoir Hollow, which puts its hand up and lays on the ground as its dress lays flat on the ground. Overall, these cards by Harada really spice up this set, because we are about to get to Ken Sugimori. Anyways, we've got Masakazu Fukuda, who worked on the Wobbuffet, which stands atop a cliff as the camera looks down onto it. The Pokemon opens its mouth wide and puts its hand on its face. The Magneton, which illuminates the area with its metallic gleam as it floats up between a cliff. The Delcatty Hollow, which kind of reminds me of an illustration that we'd see for a Gold Star. Elegant and fascinating. And finally, the Blaziken Hollow, which prepares itself for an attack and primes its claws to strike on whatever may stand on its path, which looks awesome. And our final normal artist is, as of course you would assume, Ken Sugimori, who worked on a whopping 29 Pokemon for the set. To be honest, none of them particularly called to me, even Pokemon that I typically like Cacturne or Kabuto. But if I had to pick some, I kind of like the Duskull, because there's a little bit of effort put into this one with some ghostly energy around the Pokemon. Sugimori also worked on 8 of the 13 Hollows, so let's just talk about a few of these. The Aggron is nice. I like Aggron's typical design, so I don't mind this color at all too much. And I have to mention the Charizard, because it's one of the most expensive cards in the whole set. Just saying, you can get so many nicer Charizard cards for $140, which is kind of saying something. I think Power Keepers is a perfectly fine set, but it's just filled with so many Ken Sugimori artworks that are not only hard to talk about, but aren't particularly head turners or anything like that. Anyways, guys, let's move on to the EX cards. Ryo Ueda worked on a bunch of the EX cards for this set. Firstly, we have the Absol EX, which is pretty fantastic. I love how it bounds along the skies and the white lines kind of drape around and bend around the Pokemon. The Claydol EX is really cool too. The purple colors on the card are really nice, and the fact that Claydol is shooting out some lasers looks pretty cool. The specks and circles are quite nice as well. The Metagross EX is awesome. I love how it's punching forwards and the Pokemon looks very menacing, with the speed lines around the Pokemon's hand. The Shifter EX is nice because it swipes along with some nice floral green backgrounds. The Skarmory EX opens its mouth, and it looks like little metal daggers are flying down from the skies with a nice blue background. And finally, the Walrein EX, which has this light blue icy rays behind the Pokemon, and it opens up its mouth and flaps its flipper. The other two EX cards are by Mitsuhiro Rita, who worked on the Flygon EX, which I think looks really cool. I love how you can see its entire body as it flies along, and it looks over and to the right. And that brown background weirdly looks really well on Flygon. The other EX Irida worked on is the Salamence EX, which opens up its mouth and flies along. I really like that nice blue and purple background in the EX Pokemon. And those are all the EXs and Power Keepers. The final cards in the set are the 3 Gold Star Pokemon by Masakazu Fukuda, who worked on some awesome Gold Stars for this set, being the Flareon Gold Star, which burns the area around it with its humongous tail, which I think looks pretty cool. I like how Flareon's paws cross over each other, and it smiles, with lines on the background. The Jolteon Gold Star is nice too, as it opens up its mouth, and shocks all around itself, with that nice highlighter color that Jolteon has for its shiny. And the Vaporeon Gold Star is one of the nicest Gold Stars we've ever seen in my opinion. I love how its purple color contrasts against the teal background. It looks super nice, in my opinion. My favorite cards from Power Keepers are the Jolteon and Vaporeon Gold Star, the Absol, Flygon, and Skarmory EX, and then the Aggron, Blaziken, Delcatty, Gardevoir, and Raichu holo cards, and then the Magneton, Ninetales, Seviper, Anorith, Kirlia, Medicham, Shelgon, Vibrava, Aeron, Chinchou, Magnemite, Pikachu, and the Trapinch. If I were to give EX Power Keepers an overall ranking, I would say the set is around 7.4. I would say that there are some qualities about the set that are really fantastic, but I think we just took a big step back from the Delta species Pokemon, and this set features mainly Ken Sugimori illustrations. Other than that, I think the remaining artists do a fantastic job in making up for some lackluster Sugimori artworks, and Masakazu Fukuda went off with the Evolution Gold Stars. And surprisingly, Tomoaki Imakuni worked on two of my favorite cards in the set, and a 7.4 certainly isn't bad. I mean, it has the benefit of cool reverse holo cards, the old school EX cards, and really nice looking Gold Star Pokemon, which is why I didn't give it lower than a 7. Anyways, I will really miss these old school style EX Pokemon cards, and I will definitely miss the Gold Star Pokemon cards, and the really nice reverse holo patterns. Anyways, oh, are we almost there? Thanks, Rayquaza. Appreciate you for carrying me all that way, buddy. Anyways, we're here, at the precipice of a new era, being the Diamond and Pearl era. This means a new look, new Pokemon, and new everything. Hope you guys are all excited, just as I am. Have a good day, and I'll catch you next time.